Hello everyone, this project has been conducted by Natalie Squires and Annie Winkler. The aim of this project is to ensure that deaf and hearing impaired students within mainstream schools are provided with an inclusive education. Let's begin this project with a little scenario. A young deaf student has recently been enrolled in Year 2 at a mainstream school. There has previously been no students who have identified or disclosed that they are deaf or have a hearing impairment or loss within the school. The parents of this new student have requested information on the current resources and practices that the school has in place or is able to provide to ensure their child feels safe and supported within the classroom and school community. Did you know that, according to Power and Hire 2003, more than 83% of deaf children and adolescents attend mainstream schools, where they are often the sole student in their class or school who is deaf? Therefore, the purpose of this project is to ensure that this new student is provided with an inclusive education within a mainstream schooling environment. One where services are provided in the form of appropriate resources and supportive teaching practices. One where appropriate training and support is provided to all staff. One where a sense of belonging for the student is encouraged within the classroom and wider school community. And one where strong communication is developed between the school, student, staff and family to help achieve the best outcomes and school experiences for this new student.
As Natalie discussed, our project is based on how deaf and hearing impaired students are included and supported within the whole school environment as opposed to just within the classroom. Our research allowed us to learn a great deal from a variety of primary, high, private and public schools in the local area in regards to current practices that are present within their school to support deaf and hearing impaired students. We also had the opportunity to speak to itinerant support teachers and learning support teams within some of these schools. From these schools, we learnt that many students with hearing impairments will use an FM receiver within the classroom. Teachers often position their students towards the front of the room or the front of the hall during assemblies and aim to minimise distractions and noise within the classroom. Personal learning plans created in conjunction with teachers, support staff, the student and families are also a common feature in many schools. A number of schools we spoke to also discussed the use of adapted curriculum, including the use of captions and other visual cues to support the students. One particular school also offered basic Auslan training for all staff members. Despite these practices, many deaf and hearing impaired students face exclusions and other barriers in all areas of school life. Some of the barriers include difficulties making and maintaining friendships, language and literacy barriers, learning difficulties, bullying and lack of teacher knowledge on ways to best support their needs. Our research also allowed us to develop ideas on possible improvements that could be made within a whole school environment to better support and include deaf and hearing impaired students. The use of early intervention programs before schooling, where possible, will be beneficial for many hearing impaired students to develop the skills and for also the families to develop an understanding of the supports that will be needed throughout their schooling career. When we spoke to a number of schools, we learnt that many offer little training and development to staff in regards to how to support hearing impaired students, and having more of this training will allow staff to support students in a more successful way. Integration of technology through apps, computer programs and captions within all classroom activities is also a fantastic way to support students. Communication between not only the school and the family is incredibly important, but also encouraging communication between all staff, including support staff and extracurricular staff members such as library and sport teachers, can also help support the students in all areas of school life. Also having access to websites such as some of the ones we have listed and being able to be in contact with support teachers, support schools is also a fantastic way to develop the school's base of knowledge for their students.
Throughout our research, we discovered that there are many factors that are essential in providing deaf and hearing impaired students with a safe, supportive and inclusive education. We believe that to fully provide an inclusive and equitable education for students, that support needs to be given at both the classroom and school community level. However, we found that providing students with an equitable education and the support required is not always possible. Therefore, it is essential that schools and teachers work in partnership with deaf and hearing impaired students and their families to discuss strategies to support the student more successfully.